Yo, hit that subscribe button and that bell. We talk about a lot of the greatest peak over here, no mid. Hit it. Okay, so I was sleeping. I'm not even gonna lie. I was massively, immensely sleeping on this one. And I was like, you know what? We ain't doing that no more. So the other night, I was like, bet. I was in the middle of some work. I put it aside and I started this bad boy off. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking based on the title or the description, Fornev, what are you doing here, dog? This ain't anime talk. This ain't manga talk. Where we going with this? Well, I want to talk about something else. Because one of the differences between anime and live action, for me personally, I feel, is the ability to immerse. I feel as though with an anime, because I watched so much damn anime, I'm talking about, I don't know, I probably watched hundreds upon hundreds of anime at this particular point. Sometimes I find it a little bit difficult to immerse myself in certain series, because even if I like them, it just feels like, oh, seen that trope, seen this trope. And that's not to say that live action doesn't do that, because to be honest with you, in terms of finding a live action series that gets me going and gets me pumped the same way an anime does, it's extremely few and far between. There's not that many live action for me personally that really get me going and grab me and bring me in and make me a fan, especially off rip. Like anime, you already know what it is. It could be something dope, it could be something cool, it could be something funny, and oftentimes a lot of us, we just, yo, let's go, we love this shit, oh my god, stand it, tattoo it on my forehead. But with live action, it's a little bit different. But when I do find a live action, when I do find one that tickles me fancy, mate, it sometimes really can bring me to a different level that a lot of the time anime can't. And okay, people, before we continue, I gotta let you guys know that this video is indeed sponsored by Bloodline Heroes of Lithis, a card-based fantasy RPG game for the mobile, iOS, and Android. And off rip, I gotta tell you that this game is quite interesting. New legends will be born. For starters, the art style, in case you don't know, I'm massive on nice art, and this art is traditional Western fantasy and some beautiful 3D graphics. I ain't gonna lie, the 3D graphics look more pretty. It's a gacha game, but with unique gameplay, because you know, gacha games, they sometimes can be a little daunting, but not this one. You can choose your path with different companions. You can customize your champions by combining different bloodlines with unique combinations, and honestly, the possibilities are endless. For starters, you have a champion, Karg Dragonborn, and Licinus Leakin, which you get the clan of Karg for free by logging in. Licinus is a werewolf, which I enjoy me a little bit of werewolves in my games. Then there's a companion, Fulgur Demigods. You can switch genders of the characters if that's what you're into, and as you level up, you get to unlock more companions for free. The higher your companion's intimacy, the more stronger your offspring will be. You create even stronger offspring by marrying champions. You keep developing the family tree, and your champions will inherit the best traits from their parents, and you obtain a half dragonborn, half demigod heir for free. Meet your true companions, and you could create legendary heroes of epic kind in a fantasy RPG. Download the game now. You can check my link in the description below. If you use my gift code in the description, you obtain in-game rewards, 1 champion token, and 100,000 gold and 100,000 diamonds. Honestly, it sounds like a bargain to me. So I definitely recommend you check out Bloodline, link in the description below, or scan the QR code right here on the screen. iOS, Android, what are you waiting for? It's a new experience in gacha gaming, and I think you'll enjoy it. Zaboy! Dog, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Right now, where I'm at with this, so I can be clear, I mean, at the end of the day, people are gonna talk in the comments. It is what it is. I ain't stopping you. Probably by the time this comes up, I will be, probably by the end of season 2. I just started season 2, but I can't put this shit down. I'm not even gonna lie. One of my homies was telling me for a long time, as I was the last few months doing my Better Call Saul marathon. I've been watching Better Call Saul, feels like forever now, but I finally finished Better Call Saul, and I was like, oh god, you know that void that you feel like when you finish an anime and it's like, oh, this was the greatest thing, I freaking love it, there's no more, what do I do with myself now? One of my homies was there, thankfully, to say, yo, don't worry, dog, Fornev, I got you, fam. I got just the remedy for this situation. Zaboy. And he recommended The Boys, and I took a little bit to get into. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while. I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna eventually, I promise I'm gonna watch it. And after a few weeks, I was like, fine, let me throw one on. Let's see what's happening with this. And I'm gonna just keep it real. From the first about 20 minutes or so of the show, I already knew, oh, unless shit drastically changes, unless it goes into a straight shit show, which I didn't think that was gonna happen anyway, because I've already heard so much acclaim about it. I knew, oh, this is my show, dog. This is going to be one of the most hypest things ever, and I was so thankful for it because, yeah, that void, that, the anime is over. Oh, this series I love is finally done. What do I do now? It was quickly filled with The Boys. Pause for Nev. You're supposed to pause on that one. You're being filled by The Boys. What? All right, now without the crude humor, The Boys, dog. Off rip, I think for the most part it'll be the same scenario for most people. That the Butcher, hands down, my favorite character by far. I mean, of course, the accent when he's calling everybody a cunt. Very on par with some of the British friends I've had in the past. They call everybody a cunt. Oh, you cunt. It got me one, and now every 5 seconds I'm gonna be like, hey guys, so we're talking about, oh, you cunt. But the Butcher, his story as it stands right now, again, I'm like early season 2. By the time this video goes up, I'm probably gonna be like season 3. I don't even know. I might be done with it just because it freaking is so damn incredible. But the Butcher, he is so freaking interesting of a character because, for starters, he starts off faking to this dude Huey that he's with the feds, and then as it goes on, you kind of see that he's more so a vigilante in a way. I guess that's what I would pretty much call him, and that's one of the things that I like off rip about this series. It explores off rip that gray area. Everything ain't always good and bad. Everything ain't always that the good guys are the good guys either. Like, it's very fitting that Amazon, because I believe The Boys is an Amazon exclusive, it's very fitting that they also have Invincible. If you've seen my video, I think I made it last year, about Invincible. I love Invincible. Like, I even made a video, I believe it was last year, saying I think Invincible can give anime a problem. If we had like 10 shows or even 5 shows like Invincible dropping every year, anime would be, you know, sweating there like, oh god, we've got some competition. Because I loved Invincible. I loved, of course, the whole superhero aspect. You already know I'm a big My Hero fan and One Punch Man and all of that stuff, so I love superhero stuff. But then seeing a little glimpse into, well, what if the good guys aren't good? What if All Might was actually a really big asshole? What if All Might was not the I'm here? What about if he would say I'm here, you cunts? No, that would be the Butcher. But what if he said I'm here and then shortly after would abandon people to die and not give a shit and walk by and say these fucking pigs or something like that? Like, what if All Might was like that? What if Saitama wasn't just like bored and just a chill dude and was just a straight up asshole? I loved getting a glimpse into that, where we see an Invincible towards the end of episode 1 of the first season. Things aren't all what they seem, but The Boys takes it to a whole other level. I feel like it takes it to a grounded to reality level. Y'all know the whole idea of ultimate power corrupts ultimately. While I don't necessarily completely agree with that concept, it's definitely explored very heavily in The Boys, because you have the Seven, so to speak, which is pretty much straight up a play off of the Justice League. Y'all already know. It's like, hey, we got bad Superman, corrupted Wonder Woman, you got creep Aquaman. Like, it just really explores the different dynamics of that. And then on the flip side, again, like I was talking about earlier, you got people that are kind of the real heroes of the story. People like the Butcher, although throughout season 1, for the most part, from what I gathered, he's pretty much with just vengeance. Like, he's playing it off when he meets Huey in the beginning. He's like, yo, I'm gonna help you get your revenge, don't worry, you know, we're gonna stop all of this chaos. But he's really just on a quest to take down the Superman of this show, Homelander, which, oh my god, I love that they don't even really play with you too much about like, hey, is Homelander a really good guy? It's probably halfway through the first episode that you realize, oh no, this dude is a piece of shit. He's not even close to a good guy. In fact, majority of them are pieces of trash. But I like that The Boys doesn't just only stop there. It doesn't only just say, well, the bad guys are good and the good guys are bad. It explores it even further, because then you got people like Starlight, pretty much an innocent girl, comes from like, you know, the countryside, one of those just supposedly pure type of characters, and you see that she isn't down with the corruption. I think if you don't have all the scenarios that happens, if you don't have Huey and the Butcher getting involved, I think there's a possibility that we would have seen Starlight go down the same rabbit hole as the rest of them. She starts off as like a cute and innocent girl, and if she would have been with them without everything else, without the interference of the plot of The Boys, so to speak, she probably would have turned out like a lot of them. Like, I don't know, because again, I'm not caught up at this point if it's been explored, and I have not read the comics, but I'd imagine that a good chunk chunk of those heroes might have started off just like Starlight. Pretty much, hey, I came to be a hero. I want to do what's right, came with justice. So you have this upstart with this very optimistic and bright idea type of vibe, so to speak, amongst all of these corrupted people that are the Seven. And Translucent, Jesus Christ, like, yo, I hope he's in one piece. Hey, where's Monkey D. Luffy? Hey, double triple entendres for days. So you remove Translucent because we didn't really get too much of him, although we start to explore later. He had a son, Maverick, all of that stuff. But then Homelander, like I said, just his performance, the actor that plays him, truly through and through really gets into the role. Like when I see him on screen, my skin damn near crawls of like, this dude is so fucking bad. Like, and we have the worst possible person to be bad. Like, I'm sure in DC Comics they've explored the idea of Superman being bad. I know that there's stories out there of Superman if he landed on, what was it, Apocalypse instead or something like that. Like, I know there's stories like that, but Jesus, I gotta give it up to the actor. I gotta give it up to the script, the original story. This dude, Homelander, plays it so perfectly of fucked up Superman. I don't want to say 100% completely evil, but he's pretty much evil. The things that he does throughout season 1 that I've seen so far, he's a piece of shit, absolute despicable, deplorable, like you name it, that dude is it. Then we got people like A-Train. A-Train, again, he's corrupted at this particular point. Maybe at the start, I could argue, I feel like, and I'm talking about even before this thing started, he looks like he comes from some good values. You see that his brother throughout the series is a decent person, and maybe A-Train at one given point might have been a decent person, but after what happened to his girlfriend, after that, I was like, oh, no, I don't care what happens to this dude. I was glad when down the road, Kimiko broke his leg. Nah, dude, fuck you. What he did to his girlfriend, that shit destroyed me to see, like, how could you? And you can see that it destroyed him too, where minus Homelander, some of these people, they do have morals. They just bury the living shit out of them. Like A-Train, I believe if he didn't have the corrupted nature of this business and, you know, Vought and all of this shit surrounding him, he might actually have been a decent hero. He might have been a good dude. But unfortunately all of that changed him. Then you got, I can't remember her name to be honest with you, but the Wonder Woman of the series, beautiful actress. She's so far for the most part been playing her role as slightly starting to become a mentor to Starlight, seeing the opposition of, well, Superman has completely gone evil. She's more so on the line of turning the blind eye. Like that whole plane situation when they were on the plane and what Homelander did. I'm trying to be as spoiler free as I can because I do want to get some of you guys that don't know anything about the boys to please go check it out. Like in case I haven't tell you guys, hey, go check it out, it's freaking incredible. But she's for the most part just like, you know, I didn't see that, it's killing me inside, but okay. So again, morally she's definitely questionable, and what happened in the plane was like, was it really her fault per se? Like what could she really have done in that situation? Is she gonna start throwing hands with Homelander there where he'll just basically leave her to die? So that was a tricky situation. Where I'm at right now, Black Noir has pretty much shown himself to be a big mystery, so I don't know too much about Black Noir to comment on him. The fake Aquaman, oh my god, where it stands right now, he makes my skin crawl. Between already, he starts off where he did some really horrible shit to Starlight. Y'all already know what he forced her to do. She was taking a foot long, but I mean, the gill shit on his body, that was like, oh shit, I can't look at that. But even above and beyond that, it's kind of crazy how he got moved over for all of his actions from, he's in the big city of New York, and they're like, nah dog, go to Ohio. I can relate very heavily as somebody that was sent from New York to Ohio. Now mind you, I was never sent to Sandusky, but yeah, seeing his journey, I'm curious how they're gonna tie him back in, because pretty much where it stands right now, where I'm at, he was thrown out of the Seven and pretty much sent away to, you know, the countryside, so to speak. So I'm wondering how they're gonna reel that back in. I'd imagine it'll be a desperate call at some point to bring him in, because if they didn't kill him off, if they didn't just write him off, and we're seeing him in the hotel and with the girl that was, you know, doing all that creepy, oh god, I can't think about his gills on his stomach. Ugh. I'd imagine he's going to at some given point come back into the fold, but he definitely needs to find himself, because he's also another piece of shit. He's just used his powers to abuse and like, hey, I want this woman to do whatever and whatnot. But you've seen little by little, I guess, some character development of, because at the end of the day, he really cares about the animals. He's Aquaman. He could communicate with them, he can understand their humor, and he gets ridiculed for it, and he tries to do different things, but he's kind of just like a fuck up. Pretty much they use Aquaman, and a lot of people, you know, in the fandom make fun of Aquaman, like, what could Aquaman do? although I really love the Aquaman with the hook and the long hair. That's my favorite version of Aquaman. This dude couldn't hold a candle to that Aquaman's boots. Yeah, I don't know, he makes my skin curl too, but on a different level. Like, Homelander does it because, dog, that's Homelander. He's a fucking strong beast of a monster in a bad way. While this dude is like, it's just nasty, bro. There we're gonna go. We're gonna stick with nasty. And then on the boys side of things, to be honest with you, Huey, he's a standard character. Honestly, I feel like he is definitely the quote-unquote voice of the audience. He is pretty much the character of, I don't want to say in terms of like being like them, like a Usopp or a Krillin, but I just say he fits the role of a normal dude in this crazy situation with all these crazy powerful people. But he's just a normal dude, although you can see corruption from the time of what happened with Translucent and moving forward. Yeah, he's not, you know what I'm saying, his moral compass has definitely been skewed, but even so, they don't really play it too much like I thought it was gonna go. I thought by the end of season 1 this dude was gonna be an absolute mad lad, but because of Starlight, him and Starlight kind of help each other out. If it wasn't for either of them, if they didn't have each other, I think both of them would have gone to the dark side pretty freaking quick. So it's thanks to them, but I'm not the biggest Huey fan per se. I really felt for him with him losing his girlfriend and what A-Train did in the first episode or whatever, so I definitely felt for him, and my god, that was just a shocker of a moment to start off. Like, that's how you start a series off. That's how you reel people into this crazy superhero filled fantastical story of, yeah, shit is gonna be very brutal, which is again why I compare it to like Invincible, because Invincible is very brutal. Honestly, probably the best, most normal, most honest. He makes some mistakes or whatever, but still he's a good dude. Mother's Milk, he's just like a real dude. He's a genuine dude. I don't know where the character is going to go moving forward. We've seen a little bit exploration into his family or whatnot, but Mother's Milk, if I would say of anything, he's the most honest and moral guy above all of them. Granted, again, rocking with the Butcher is going to lead you down some dark alleys, but yeah, I rock with Mother's Milk just as being like, he don't deserve to be in this situation. He shouldn't be in this situation. But shout outs to Mother's Milk. And then we got Frenchie, the French, I don't even want to say he's a nut job. He's not a nut job. He's just kind of a little eccentric. I love his relationship that he has with Kimiko, and out of everybody that, because you see Mother's Milk, his relationship with his wife messed up, the Butcher, Becca's dead, or well, but you got that. Then you got that Huey started off with, you know, Robin dying, and then his relationship with Starlight has kind of gotten a little bit muddied. Like most of these people, their girlfriends and loved ones and their relationships all strained, messed up, or just non-existent at this point, except for Frenchie and Kimiko. So I really like their relationship. Also, I like the little nod to having those anime openings, even though they're just like J-pop songs or whatever, but it's just the little things sometimes that really add to it. Also, I feel like of the boys, the one that really has the most combat, you know, capabilities is Kimiko. I was really happy when I saw that she was going to join, because for the most part, the other three, they're regular humans. So having a soups, so to speak, on their side benefits them and makes it feel a little bit more realistic that, well, she could really hurt someone, you know what I'm saying? Aside from that, the company, again, I believe it's Vought, they even have a very good story and a very good basis in it. The fact that they're scheming on the marketing side of things is all the biggest like fraudulent situation in history there, where they, you know, bamboozle people into thinking, no, these are God's children, these are God's people that were chosen to be heroes, and we find out a lot of the dark past. And then Madeline Stillwell, her character, she definitely drove it through. Like, honestly, there was no wasted characters of like, oh, they didn't serve any purpose. Like, everybody really served their purpose, but especially Madeline, how she's playing back and forth with her situation with Homelander, which was really fucking bizarre. I'm not gonna lie, her relationship with Homelander had me creeped out, because at first I was thinking like, okay, maybe they used to date. Then shortly into it, I was like, no, maybe she's like a mother figure. Then towards the end, I was like, this is getting a wee bit weird for me, mate. That's that wee, you know what I'm saying, creepy. Whoa. But then it gets even darker with that situation. And then, I'm not gonna lie, I freaking fanboy like a motherfucker when I saw Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad Better Call Saul showing up. The dude that plays him is going to be playing a more active role, I think, coming into the next season. I saw him in the beginning of season 2. He's like pretty much taking up the role of what Madeline was doing. So very, very hype on that. And I can't stress enough that this series right now has my undivided attention. I am definitely going to catch up within, it's not going to take more than a day or two, because I'm just right now through the freaking moon of it. Highly recommend. You want something live action, you don't really care that it's not anime, something along the lines of like Invincible, basically like a polar opposite. Like I said, it's like if All Might was just walking around beaming motherfuckers he didn't like to death and being an absolute piece of shit. Yeah, the boys. But again, best character so far, Billy Butcher, that dude, I ain't gonna lie, I love it. It just makes me want to scream out, oh, you cunt. Curious what you guys think about it though. If you've seen The Boys, do you think yay, nay, you like it, dislike it? Like, again, I can't stress enough, I really rocked with it. And if you haven't, are you gonna check it out based on my recommendation? I can assure you, you will be hooked and addicted. Clear out your schedule for the next week or so, because yeah, The Boys, it's massive heat. It's coming from a fan that, you know, I've watched a lot of series, anime, manga, live actions. I've watched some of the best things you could ever imagine, and I'm telling you that this is worth your time times 1,000. That's all I have for this one. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.
I have a dream, alone in my room as I sit with the tea. Couldn't possibly think what I often see, and you don't even know how I often blink. Lights be flashing and looking at me, such an odd, unique, yet I'm so unique, and you're looking at me. If the walls could talk, they would probably repeat, and I'd probably say, bitch, get the fuck off me.